Okay, let's answer this question. Walking meditation, where is my focus? The breath, feet, or the body? Walking meditation, what the name implies, your walking movement, you concentrate on your walking movement, on your feet. Your right foot went forward, the heel touching the floor, and then the sole, and then the toes. And so you're actually feeling the walking movement. In other words, all your concentration, your focus is mindfully on the walking movement, which means that you want your mind to concentrate in where you want it to concentrate. In other words, when you're walking, you don't think about yesterday's meal and tomorrow's banquet, or yesterday's agony, tomorrow's worry. No. People are like that. When they're walking, they don't know they're walking. It's a spontaneous, action. They don't know what, they just walk, but without knowing that they should be mindful on what they're doing. When they're walking, they could be thinking about drinking, partying, making money, problems, sufferings, but not on the walking. You know why? Because your mind is not under your control. It wanders all over the place. You cannot control them. Now you say, I don't want this monkeying mind to wander all over the place. I don't want the monkeys to cling from one branch of greediness to another branch of jealousy, to another branch of depression, another branch of fear, another branch of, whatever emotions. You want your monkey under control. And we said, learn it, monkey. Just stay still. Just watch your walking movement. When you're doing the silent sitting meditation, you are watching your mind when you are still, when you're sitting still, when your body is not in motion. What about when your body is in motion? You can't always be not in motion. You can't always sitting there for millions of years. You have to move your body around. When you move your body around, your monkeying mind is go all over the place again. But now you train your monkey and say, even if I'm walking, my mind is still under my control. I know what, I'm aware of my thought. Every thought I'm aware. I'm aware that I have thought of depression coming up. I say, no, this depression thought is not me. It's just a feeling in my mind. Why do I have to identify myself with this agonizing depression? Why do I have to relate my depression, my feeling, me, to this just a thought? The thought is not me. But I want to identify my thought as me. That's why I'm suffering. I'm selfless in this agonizing feeling. Don't link your emotion of the left hemisphere of your brain to the spiritual side, the tranquility side, the peaceful side of the right hemisphere of the brain. Don't link it up that way. Synchronize it. Get a balance of it. We got plugged up with the two hemispheres. We always use our brain on the left side, which is what? Your learning, your existent abilities, all your behavior on the left side. And we don't use too much of the right side of the brain, which is spiritual. If you talk to a neuroscientist, I talk to a few of them, they always tell me that neuroscience only have explored about 10% of the brain. There's a lot of mystical, unresolved issues that we neuroscientists have to find out more. Hopefully they'll find more and more about it. If they can find more and more about it, maybe we can solve some human problems. Why are some people anxious? Why some people have phobia? All that. But in order to probe into that, I think it's more it's more adventurous to probe into the Buddhist teaching of previous life and future life rather than just concentrating on the present life. Because the present is only a one-dimension time. You need to many dimensions when you look at it. So, walking meditation, you focus, you're mindful on your movement so that your monkey only concentrate on the movement, it is under your control. But I can see that some people, when they're walking, not doing that. They could be chatting to each other. They're walking shoulder by shoulder, whispering. So what are you doing? Where are you going tomorrow? Are you going to that temple tomorrow? Another temple? Oh yeah. They're talking. They're not mindful of the walking movement. No. Next question. Venerable, we know there is a 3 refuge and a 5 ceremony tomorrow. What is the meaning of refuge? I trust what the Buddha taught, but I do not refuge. Can I claim myself as Buddhist? Besides, what is the difference between Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? Thank you. These are good questions, similar with other questions. What is the meaning of refuge? Refuge is to seeking protection, seeking understanding, because you don't know what kind of protection you have until you understand what kind of protection. So seeking understanding, seeking protection. And the 5 precept ceremony is a step forward. Other than seeking protections and seeking understanding, I am observing the Buddha's basic morality standard 5 items. Abstain from killing, abstain from lying, abstain from stealing, abstain from intoxication, and abstain from drinking. Why do I have to observe these 5 precepts? Because I want to learn how to put my monkeys under control. The only way that I can put my monkeys under control is to tell the monkey not to climb that branch of killing. In other words, we don't kill animals for food. Of course, you won't. Basically, people here, they don't kill humans unless you're a professional killer. I mean, you won't kill humans, but you're still killing animals for food. You still have that killing instinct. You're eating pork, you're eating chicken, you're eating pig, you're eating ducks. You are indirectly killing animals for food. It is not merciful, compassionate to kill other existence just to satisfy your taste buds. You know what you are doing actually? A weak meat eater? You are just trying to satisfy your taste buds because you don't need to kill animals for food. And say if I'm eating cucumbers and vegetables and all that and doing mixtures, you may think that my vegetarian food is not as delicious as your steak, your sirloin steak. But how do you cook your sirloin steak? You put in a lot of ingredients, vinegar, sugar, you name them. You're putting a lot of vinegars into the meat. If you don't put these ingredients into the meat, it just tastes tasteless. But you're putting a lot of flavors into the meat. And that flavor only satisfies your taste buds that you feel is delicious. But once it passes the threshold of the taste buds, gets into the throat, it is food. It becomes feces when it gets through all the intestines. On the other hand, if a vegetarian is eating, similarly, he also can satisfy his taste buds, but he won't attach to killing animals. Once the food passes through the throat, it's not the deliciousness that concerns anymore. It becomes feces that you have to excrete out from your body. So why do you have to involve with killing them for food? It's unreasonable. It's something that we should think about. You can keep warm with many ways. Why do you have to kill the minks for their fur? Why do you have to kill the seal for their skin? You know how people in the Arctic Ocean, how they kill the seals? They just kill them alive, just skin them alive. Why do they have to do that? It's not necessary. Don't you think it's necessary? There's a lot of ways the humans can keep warmth in the body, not just with a fur coat. You know how many minks actually smoke to death to get to a fur coat? And how much a fur coat is selling for? Think about all these things. We have been created a lot of karma that pull us down. So, what is the meaning of taking refuge? Just getting back to the right track. You're seeking protection, you're seeking understanding. Now, you start your first step in trying to understand about life based on the Buddhist teaching. You put your first step of understanding out. You have a second strive, first strive. In order to arrive at 1,000 miles of destination, you have to take that first step. That first step determines your destination. It's very important to take that first step. Have you taken that first step? Or you're hesitant? I don't want to take that first step. Do I have to be a believer of it? Do I have to take refuge? Well, am I being brainwashed? Am I being brainwashed? You know, why do I have to take that first step? Let me tell you, that first step is not a brainwashing. It's just you vow in your belief that you want to seek understanding of the truth. You want to be more intelligent. You want to listen to someone who is extremely intelligent and have wise and wisdom. You want to enroll as a student of that teacher. You're taking refuge. You want to enroll. It's just like going to university. There are two kinds of students. One kind of student is students who register to go into classes. Another kind of student is they don't register. They just sneak in. They are not registered students. They just sneak in and just listen. You know, it's just like they sometimes come to the temple. I don't necessarily take refuge. I don't necessarily to term myself as a Buddhist. I just sneak in. It's just like a student who sneak in university classes and listen to the professor. Whereas this is a genuine registered student. What's the difference between a registered student and an auditor who just want to come in and go? What's the difference? I can tell you the difference. Number one, you don't have to take the examination. You are not bound by the examination. Some people is, I want to learn, but I wouldn't want to take the examinations. They never can afford the feeling of failure. So they don't have to take the examination. They don't have to buy the textbooks. They don't have to do the homework. There's a lot of don't. You think they will be a good student? The professor say, okay, turn to pages 21 to 35, read the pages at home, and do an essay on it. The registered students have to do it, right? But the auditor, he doesn't have to do it. He going to McDonald's. He going to party. And then tomorrow is the lecture day, 9 o'clock in the auditorium. The professor is going to give lectures. And this auditor student who's not registered and say, oh, I slept in. Now it's 10 o'clock, it's too late. So he never attend classes. He's not serious with his learning. So you're taking refuges, you become very serious in it. You want to take that first step out. You want to walk and walk and walk until you walk the board. You walk the board, you just don't talk about the board. Boardwalk. I like that word, boardwalk. Everywhere I go in cities in some countries, they always have that boardwalk along some, seashores. There's no point in talking about walking on the seashore. You just walk it. Enjoy the breeze. Enjoy the seagulls flying everywhere. The freedom of it. Not just talking about it. So, take the refuge. That means you become a very serious person trying to seek understanding. You want to go into that, what I always call it, a spiritual odyssey. You want to take that odyssey, not a Honda odyssey, a spiritual odyssey. Going to venture it. You'll find more and more and more in there. Okay, next. I trust what the Buddha taught, but I do not refuge. Can I claim myself as Buddhist? You can do what you like. Who cares? Why don't you call yourself special Buddhist? You can call whatever you want. Who's going to restrict you from calling yourself a Buddhist? You can say, I am Catholic-Buddhist-Hindu- you name them. This is me. Whatever you want to call yourself. Besides, what is the difference between Buddha and Bodhisattvas? Bodhisattvas have different levels. Bodhisattva is the person who wants to walk that board. He has taken some steps. If you have taken the first step, you're a beginning Bodhisattva. You have taken the first step. If you have taken already 2 miles, you still have another 10 miles to do, then you are a higher level Bodhisattva. Bodhisattvas have different levels. But you, if you have taken that refuge and taken that vow, you are a beginning Bodhisattva. Someone who wants to seek that understanding, and after he sought that understanding and completely understands it, he spreads the gospel around to help others, not just helping himself. He wants not just about himself. He wanted to know the truth and then tell all the others the truth. In other words, he wanted to walk from the forest of suffering. He wanted to walk out. And once he walk out, he knows how to walk out. He goes back to the forest to tell all his folks, to draw the map to walk out, not just about himself. He's trying to save his folks too. A Bodhisattva not only save himself. The purpose of saving himself sometimes is mixed with saving all his folks, how to walk out from the forest of suffering. That's a Bodhisattva, not concerning himself. We call that compassion. Compassion is unconditional giving.